Hi there, Karen here, and today I'm doing another layout with my September hip kit and using this photograph from my holiday in Canada a couple of years ago, and that's the son of my cousin. And I'm just flipping through the remainder of my papers from the kit. There's only a couple now that I've got left that are whole pieces, so I thought I'd use this wreath background because it's such a beautiful page, and I'd sort of been saving it to see what the perfect picture to use with it, and I think this one works very well. But I've decided to cut it up, as many people have, and I thought I was going to do it in some sprays of leaves rather than doing the whole wreath, because that's a bit tricky and it's very delicate. You can see there's only very thin lines holding all the leaves together, so I thought that might be a bit tricky. So I thought I'd cut it into a few sprays of leaves, and in the end I ended up with 3 sections. So I got halfway around, did the 2 sprays, and then I thought actually this semicircle of leaves works quite nicely, and I thought that would look quite good. So I've arranged it on the page, and I quite like that. So it just curves around the photograph so it sort of snuggles into the bend of the semicircle there. And then I've got a couple of extra sprays of leaves just to fill it out at the side. So I rather like the way that all comes together. But I wanted to do a bit of background to it, put a bit of colour behind the leaves. So I took out my old favourite. I've had this for a long time and I've used it quite a lot. It's a Cosmic Shimmer. It's a blue with a bit of shine in it, and it's really and it's solid, and then you just add water to it, as I'm doing there. And then I thought I'd just use the packaging technique. I'd blobbed a bit on the bit of packaging, so wetting it down, putting some on the packaging, and then just putting a little bit on the background. So following the line of the leaves there. So it's just a little bit of shine and bit of blueness behind the leaves without it being too dominant. And then I also picked out this bottle of Vibes by Shimmers, and it's called Frostbite. It was one that came in a colour kit with the hip kit a few months ago. So I thought I'd use a bit of that as well as an extra depth of colour. And again, similar thing, putting it on the packaging and just splodging it on the page. And as you can see, the blue of the Cosmic Shimmer blue just catches the light. I really love this paint. It's just that beautiful colour, and I love the way it just shimmers in the light as it catches the light. So I'm just carrying on the curve round to make sure that there's a bit of colour behind the whole spray of leaves, and it just following it round and just trying it on each time. And as you can see, it just catches the light a little bit. I do love that. And then I just pop these 2 behind. So now I'm just going to do a few splatters with the Cosmic Shimmer Shiny Blue. I don't even know if it's got a colour on it. Let's just have a quick look at the bottle. Must have a colour, I guess. Oh, it's called Marine Aqua. It's watercolour paint. So that's what it's called. It's quite old, so it's not something you probably can get anymore, but I've used it quite a lot over the years. I really love it. So I'm doing splatters with both the Shimmers paint and with the Cosmic Shimmer paint. Just a few splatters around the page. And then I'm going to do some splatters with some Heidi Swap. So Heidi Swap Colour Shine. I've got the peach colour here. So I'm just going, because some of the leaves have got that warm corally peachy colour in them, I thought I'd pick out that colour with a few splatters with the Heidi Swap Colour Shine spray as well. Just doing a few splatters around just to pick out that colour from the leaves. So now I'm going to put my leaf back in position again and see if that's how that all looks with all the bits of splatter. And so it's not very evident, but it's just poking out round the leaves. It just softens the edges a bit. And I'm just going to stick those down. I've decided I've done enough work in the background. I'm probably quite understated with my backgrounds. I'm not very brave with doing really loads of painting on my scrapbook pages. Occasionally I go a bit mad and do a bit more, but I kept it fairly simple on this one. I didn't really want too much. I was trying to embrace the idea of a bit of white space, but I don't think I actually manage it in the end. I'm not very good at not covering the whole page. And as you'll probably see by the end, I still don't manage it. So now I'm just emptying out all the bits of ephemera from the ephemera. This is all from the Pinkfresh Studio Indigo Hills 2 line. So this is the paper was from Indigo Hills, and these are the ephemera pieces. So I'm just going through them, picking out some that I think might work just to tuck around the leaves. I just pick out a few. Some I use and some I don't. I'm just picking out some that I think might go with the colour scheme. And I've got those hexagons up the top there. I did actually have a bit of an accident and have a bit of a splodge at the top there, so I needed to cover that up. So those hexagons are going to do the job. So I've just picked out a few pieces of ephemera, and now I've decided, as I did on my previous layout, that the simplest thing is to cut some more leaves out of that beautiful blue and purple paper, because it matches beautifully with the leaves, and because they're quite watercolory and fairly simply drawn, I suppose, the leaves on the backing paper that I've cut out. Cutting out some simple leaf shapes seem to make a lot of sense. And also I've cut them out in white, and then I'm going to colour them again with the same Heidi Swap Colour Shine paint, because it does very much match the colours of the leaves on the page. And when they're added to the page, you can't tell which ones are the ones I painted and which are the ones that were cut out from the backing paper. And they work really well. They fit in beautifully with the ones that are already there. I was really pleased with how they turned out. And I've just drawn on the leaves that I've cut out with a few sort of fine lines to make them look a bit leafy, and to fit in with with those fussy cut leaves that are already on the page. And I'm just tucking them in around. I just wanted to fill out that space to the left, because the two sprigs that I'd cut out, or the two sprays of leaves, left a bit of space in between, and it looked a bit bare. So I thought it needed just filling in on that left hand side, just here and there, just tucking them in around and amongst the other leaves. So I'm just fiddling with those hexagons at the top, thinking that'll probably work quite well up there. And the colours match really well with the leaves, so they go okay. And I'm just drawing in on these ones that I've sprayed. Now they've dried, just drawing in a few lines, just to make them look a little bit more leafy, a bit more realistic as far as they can, and just tucking them in here and there. I'm just sort of tucking some of the leaves that I've cut out, and these ones that I've sprayed around the page, to give it a little bit more dimension as well. So I'm not really sticking them down really completely flat. I'm just sticking them, popping them in, so some of them just poke up a little bit here and there. And now I'm going to start sticking them all down. There goes the first one. I'm not going to make you watch me sticking those all down. So everything's stuck in place now, and I'm just going to do a bit of work on my photograph, giving it a little bit of matting with my photo. So I'm going to use this piece of blue chevron-y paper, because the blue, there's quite a lot of blue in the photo, and I decided I cut the first piece a bit short, so I thought I'd cut another piece, and I decided to. I was going to double layer it, and then and then I had to look at what I'd got left from the kit in the way of paper, and I thought, actually, I'm going to break into this final piece, to the last whole piece of paper. And I've actually found it quite a difficult one to use. It's quite a busy pattern, and I didn't really know how I was going to use it. So I thought this would work quite well as a backing piece for this photo, because there's quite a bit of plain blue around the edge. So that just that works quite well when I've decided how I'm going to fit it, and I'm just tearing the edges a little bit, making it a little bit rough and ready. Not that you can really see them once it's all stuck together, but that's for later on. So I've decided those two pieces work quite well as my background, and I'm just going to tuck it into the leaves. Just tuck it behind some of the leaves. And now I'm just going to. I'm sticking down that word love. I chose it because young Thomas really loves those dogs that you can see in the photo with him. They're not his dogs, they're his uncle's dogs. We were spending a weekend in the one of one cousin's cabin, and he's the son of the other cousin, and he had a lovely time playing with the dogs. And I found this other little die cut. It's called Lead With Your Heart, and I thought that was quite nice, and the colours were good, and it just fitted with the theme of the page. Because he doesn't have a dog of his own, so he really enjoyed spending the weekend with these two dogs, Fred and Maggie. And I just thought I'd use these little wooden hexagons I just popped them in at the top there with the other hexagons. I didn't really know quite what to do with these. The ones with the phrases on, that's quite good. I chose one on the left and bottom left is called Happy Heart, and that seemed fitting, and the colour was good. And then the other little one is called Simple Life, little blue one that I popped in. And now I've added some puffy flowers. And then I've chosen from this thicker sheet. This is a thicker sheet called High Five. I think I've used this for a couple of titles before, and Best Friend seemed to be really fitting for this layout. So that's what I've chosen. And then I'm going to go through the other pack that comes with the kit. This is there's labels and tags and more journaling spots. And it all comes from the same collection. They're all from the Pinkfresh Studio collection. And I picked out this one because I thought the colour went really well, and it gave me somewhere to write about Thomas and how much he was enjoying spending time with Fred and Maggie. And it just filled in that blank space on the right. I told you I can't leave blank space. I just don't know how to leave white space. I'd just like to fill it all in. And then I needed to fill in that little space at the bottom, so I've just picked out some puffy hearts from the sheet, the Pinkfresh Studio puffy sticker sheet, and put a few little hearts on there before I've tucked it in at the side. And I've also wanted to put a few enamel dots. Again, it came with a set of matching enamel dots with the kit, so I thought I'd pop a few of those on as well. A couple with the hearts. Just a couple of, you can hardly see, I'm sorry about that. You just at the bottom there underneath the little wood veneer piece that says Happy Heart. Now this is a little die cut leaf that I cut out for a previous layout with my silhouette cameo and didn't actually use. And so I've kept it thinking, well, it might come in handy, and I do actually get to use it on this layout, which I'm quite pleased about. Now I've taken out the this blue shiny paint again because I thought it looked a bit bare around that underneath the journaling spot in the photo. I just felt it needed a little bit of shadowing. I just thought it needed a little something. It was a little bit bare, and I really quite like that. It just finishes it off just behind the top corner, just at the top there and just underneath. I think that just finishes off that area quite nicely. I really like that. And then this is a piece of a flower that I fussy cut from one of the sheets where there's all the loads of flowers. There's a page of flowers, so I cut that out. I thought it just needed something in that corner. I had to move the best out of the way because I just needed to move it out of the way so I could stick this on, and then I can sort of fit it back in around the flowers and tuck it in above Friends. So I'm just sticking that on. And you see I've moved the leafy die cut over to the right, and best will just snuggle in there. There we go, quite nicely between the flowers and the die cut on the left and the word. There's a nice little space where it just slots in. That's quite good. I'm pleased with that, how that all worked together. And I'm just sticking on my little leaf duck. I'm quite glad I got to use this eventually. This was one I cut out in white, and again it's been sprayed with the same peach Heidi Swap Colour Shine spray. So it's got a little bit of shine to it, and it's quite delicate, and I thought that worked quite nicely there on the right of the journaling. So that's it, I'm all done. So thank you for joining me. I enjoyed this, it went together really well, and it's nice to get back to my Canada pictures again. Do join me again soon. Goodbye.